Gentlemen, let me ask you a raw and honest question. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night wondering why a woman said yes to you? Was it passion? Was it love? Or was there something else? Something hidden? Something she would never dare to admit out loud? If you've ever asked yourself those questions, then this video is for you. Because today, we're diving into the dark psychology of attraction, into the reasons women cross that intimate line, not always out of romance, not always out of love, but sometimes out of something much deeper, more complex, even unsettling. And before we uncover these truths, make sure you subscribe to Psychology of Desire, because here, we don't sugarcoat love and attraction. We tell you the truths most people are too afraid to say, so you can finally understand the real psychology behind women's desires. Now, let's begin. Number 1, the hunger for validation. At the very core of human psychology lies a hunger we often deny, the hunger to be wanted. For many women, this desire can become overwhelming. You see, the world places women on pedestals when they are young. Compliments flow like rivers, men chase them, and attention is effortless. But what happens when time begins to take that spotlight away? When the compliments grow fewer and the chase quiets down? Validation. That's what she craves. And sometimes, intimacy becomes the language of that validation. When a woman says yes to you, even if she isn't deeply in love, she may be answering a deeper question burning inside her. Am I still desirable? Am I still wanted? Do I still have power over a man's attention, his body, his soul? This is a dark reason because she may not even admit it to herself. She may tell herself she's just being playful, spontaneous, or caught in the moment. But deep down, she knows what's really happening. She is seeking reassurance through you. Imagine a woman in her late 30s or 40s who once was the center of every room. Suddenly, the spotlight has dimmed. When a man gives her attention, when his eyes linger just a little too long, she feels that spark return. And sometimes the fastest way to capture that validation, the raw proof that she is still desired, is through intimacy. This doesn't mean she doesn't feel attraction toward you, but understand, attraction in this case is being fueled by something darker, her fear of fading, her fear of being invisible. And the moment you understand this truth, you'll see why some women rush into intimacy even when logic says they shouldn't. It's not about love, it's about power. It's about soothing that hidden ache of needing to be chosen again. Gentlemen, validation is one of the most powerful drivers in psychology. And when you spot this reason, you'll understand her actions are about far more than the moment. They're about the mirror she's holding up to herself and whether she still feels beautiful inside it. Number 2, the escape from loneliness. Loneliness is a shadow most people don't admit they carry. For women, it often hides behind smiles, social media posts, and casual conversations. She may laugh with friends, look composed in public, and appear as though everything is fine. But when the lights go out, when she's left alone in silence, loneliness creeps in, and it's heavy. For some women, intimacy becomes an escape route. Not because they're deeply in love, not because they're consumed by passion, but because closeness, even temporary closeness, feels like medicine for the emptiness. Think about it. The human body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, during physical touch. This chemical temporarily soothes stress, lowers anxiety, and creates the illusion of connection. For a woman drowning in isolation, that feeling can be intoxicating. She may not even realize this is why she says yes to you. She may frame it as attraction or spontaneity, but the truth runs deeper. Sometimes intimacy isn't about fire, it's about silence. It's about filling that void inside her that whispers late at night. You are alone. Nobody truly sees you. Nobody truly holds you. Picture this: a woman who has built her life around work, children, or responsibilities. She's strong, independent, and admired by others. But strength doesn't erase loneliness. She might go weeks without meaningful touch, months without feeling seen. And when a man appears, offering not just attention but closeness, she may surrender, not because of lust, but because of longing. This is a dark reason because it's not love. It's not desire in its purest form. It's a temporary patch on a wound that keeps reopening. The intimacy she shares with you may feel electric in the moment, but once the moment fades, the loneliness often returns. And yet, she will do it again, because for a brief time, the ache inside her disappears. And here's what makes it even more complicated. She may cling harder to you afterward, not because she sees you as her future, but because she associates you with relief. Like water to someone dying of thirst, you represent comfort, not necessarily compatibility. Gentlemen, when you understand this, you'll see intimacy in a new light. Sometimes it's not passion at all. It's pain disguised as passion. And when she looks at you in the quiet afterward, you may notice it. The sadness she tries to hide, the unspoken truth in her eyes. She wasn't just with you. She was running from her loneliness. Number 3, revenge and power. Not every choice a woman makes in intimacy comes from love or even loneliness. Sometimes it comes from a far darker place, one that has little to do with you and everything to do with someone else. This is the shadow of revenge. Imagine this. She's been betrayed, ignored, or undervalued in her current relationship. Maybe her partner no longer notices her beauty. Maybe he dismisses her feelings, takes her loyalty for granted, or has even crossed the line himself, through lies, through neglect, through infidelity. That kind of wound doesn't always show on the outside, but inside, it can create a burning need, not for comfort, but for justice. For some women, that justice doesn't come in the form of an argument, or a breakup, or a quiet withdrawal. It comes through reclaiming her power. And sometimes, the way she does that is through intimacy with someone new. Think about it. For a woman who feels powerless in her relationship, sharing herself with another man isn't just about attraction. It's about control. It's about proving to herself, and maybe even to him, that she is still wanted, still powerful, still capable of choosing her own destiny. In that moment, she's not a victim of neglect. She's the one making the rules. This is a dark reason because it uses intimacy as a weapon. It's not about you, at least not entirely. You become a symbol, a statement. Her actions say, I am not invisible. I am not powerless. I can still decide who I give myself to. And in doing so, she creates a shift in her inner world. But here's the catch. When intimacy becomes a tool of revenge, the passion burns differently. It's fueled by anger, not tenderness, by defiance, not desire. And often, it leaves behind a deeper emptiness. Because revenge rarely heals the wound. It only distracts from it. Some men never realize this. They walk away believing she was consumed by desire for them, when in reality, they were part of a silent rebellion she was waging against someone else. The intensity, the urgency, the way she threw herself into the moment, it wasn't about love. It was about freedom. It was about proving something to herself, and perhaps sending an invisible message to the man she once trusted. You don't own me. You don't define me. I still have power. Now, you might be wondering, if this reason is so dark, why would she allow herself to go through with it? Why risk guilt, confusion, or emotional fallout? The answer is simple. Because in that moment, the thrill of reclaiming power feels worth it. It's intoxicating.
Number 4, validation and insecurity. Behind every confident smile, every graceful step, and every appearance of self-assurance, there can still exist a quiet, hidden voice of doubt. Even women who appear strong, composed, and untouchable often wrestle with insecurities deep within themselves, and sometimes the choices they make in intimacy are driven not by love, not by lust, not even by revenge, but by the deep need for validation. Validation is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. At its core, it's the hunger to feel seen, valued, and worthy. For women, especially those who may feel overlooked by time, by society, or by their own partners, this hunger can become overwhelming. And sometimes that hunger leads her into situations she never imagined she'd allow. Picture this: a woman who, on the outside, carries herself with elegance. People assume she knows her worth. Yet behind closed doors, she looks into the mirror and notices every flaw, every wrinkle, every curve that she fears no longer fits society's standard of beauty. She remembers the days when glances followed her across a room, when compliments flowed effortlessly. And now she wonders if those days are gone forever. Enter you, a man who notices her, who sees her not as invisible, but as radiant, who makes her feel alive again. Your attention becomes something powerful, almost intoxicating. Suddenly, she feels that spark of worth return, not because she found it within herself, but because you reflected it back to her. And here lies the heart of this dark reason. Some women agree to intimacy not because of overwhelming desire for you, but because they crave the affirmation that comes with being wanted. It's less about the physical act and more about what the act represents. To her, it's proof. I'm still desirable. I'm still wanted. I still matter. This need can be especially strong for women who have been dismissed, compared, or abandoned in the past. Maybe her partner no longer touches her with affection. Maybe she went through a painful breakup that left scars on her confidence. Or maybe society's cruel whisper, telling women that youth equals beauty, has chipped away at her self-image. In that moment, intimacy becomes more than just pleasure. It becomes medicine, a way to silence the doubts, if only temporarily. Each touch, each glance, each word of desire tells her, you are enough. You are still captivating. You are still powerful. But here's the bittersweet truth. Validation earned through someone else is never permanent. It's like drinking water when you're desperately thirsty. It satisfies for a moment, but the thirst always returns. When a woman seeks intimacy purely for validation, it can lead to a cycle of craving and emptiness. She feels lifted in the moment, but once it's over, the old doubts creep back in, sometimes even stronger. For the man involved, this can feel confusing. You might believe her passion is proof of deep attraction. You might think she's choosing you for who you are. And while that may be partly true, the deeper reality is that she's choosing you for what you represent. Confirmation that she's still desirable. Now, does this mean her desire isn't real? Not exactly. The attraction can be genuine. The intimacy can feel authentic. But underneath, the root is different. It's tied to her need to rebuild her self-image, to feel valuable, to silence the fears that haunt her in the quiet of night. And here's where the danger lies. When intimacy becomes about validation, it's fragile. If the validation fades, if she feels ignored again, if she interprets a moment of disinterest as rejection, her insecurities can roar back even louder. The passion that once burned hot can suddenly turn cold because it was never truly about the man. It was about the reflection she saw in his eyes.
Number 5, curiosity and forbidden desire. Curiosity has always been one of the most powerful motivators in human nature. It drives us to explore, to push boundaries, to step into places we've never been before. And when it comes to intimacy, curiosity can be a force so strong that it overrides reason, loyalty, and even fear of consequence. For some women, the choice to be with a man doesn't always stem from love or even insecurity. It comes from the undeniable pull of what if. Think about it. The forbidden has always held a dangerous attraction. From stories of stolen kisses to secret romances, the idea of stepping into what's off limits creates an intoxicating thrill. The more something feels hidden, the more it feels like a secret adventure. For women, especially those who have lived through years of routine, predictability, or disappointment, the allure of something new, something risky, can become impossible to ignore. Imagine her life has become structured. The same routines, the same expectations, the same conversations repeated year after year. Even if she's content, there's a part of her soul that aches for excitement. And then you appear, different, bold, offering a glimpse of something she hasn't felt in years. Suddenly, her mind begins to wander. What would it feel like? What would it mean? What would happen if I crossed that line? This is where secret number 5 reveals its power. For some women, the reason they give in to intimacy is not because they've fallen deeply for you, but because their curiosity demands answers. They want to know what it feels like to be with someone different, to taste the thrill of what's been forbidden, to answer the questions that linger like whispers in their minds. Here's the truth most won't say out loud. Sometimes the desire to experience something once is stronger than the fear of regret. She may think, even if it never happens again, at least I'll know. This curiosity can take many forms. It may be curiosity about a younger man who brings energy and passion she hasn't felt in years, or curiosity about a man whose confidence and aura feel unlike anything she's ever known. It may even be curiosity about breaking a rule, knowing she shouldn't, yet craving the electricity that comes with rebellion. And make no mistake, the forbidden element only fuels the fire. When society says she shouldn't, when friends would never approve, when her own mind screams, "Don't do it," that's often when her heart whispers louder, just once, just to see. Now here's the dangerous part. When curiosity drives her, the experience is rarely casual, because curiosity creates a storm of heightened emotions. Every touch feels electric. Every glance feels heavier. Every moment feels carved into memory. The secrecy of it, the risk of being caught, the sheer intensity of stepping into the unknown, all of it combines into a powerful cocktail of desire. And in that moment, she can lose control. She may surrender not because she's overwhelmed by love, but because she's overwhelmed by the thrill of discovery. It's not about who you are, it's about the mystery you represent. But here's where men often misunderstand. You may believe her passion means she wants a future with you. You may think her intensity proves deep feelings, but the reality is sometimes simpler. She's satisfying a curiosity. She wanted to know. She wanted to feel. She wanted to step into a forbidden chapter, even if only once. And when the curiosity is fulfilled, 2 outcomes are possible. In some cases, she feels relief. The mystery is gone. The question answered. She may walk away satisfied, never needing to repeat it. But in other cases, the danger is even greater. Because instead of being satisfied, the taste of the forbidden leaves her hungrier than before. She realizes that the thrill isn't something she wants just once. It's something she craves again and again. This is why secret number 5 is so dark. Curiosity can awaken desires she never knew she had. It can unlock parts of her soul that had been buried beneath responsibility, expectation, or routine. And once awakened, those desires can be nearly impossible to silence. For you, this creates a strange paradox. You may feel chosen, special, desired, and in some ways, you are. But at the same time, you are also a symbol, the embodiment of her unanswered questions, her forbidden fantasies. You're not just a man in her life. You're the gateway to a hidden world she longed to explore. And here's the irony. Curiosity-driven intimacy often feels the most intense because it's fueled by both excitement and fear, by desire and hesitation, by the thrill of chasing what she knows she shouldn't have. That emotional cocktail creates an experience that burns itself into memory for both of you. But understand this. When a woman gives in to curiosity, it's not always about permanence. It's about experience, about knowledge, about the electric rush of stepping across a line. And if you confuse that for everlasting devotion, you may end up heartbroken. Still, the fact remains, curiosity is one of the 6 dark reasons a woman may give herself to you. Not because she couldn't resist your charm, not because she was starved of love, but because the forbidden mystery was louder than reason. And once that mystery calls, it's almost impossible to silence. Number 6, emotional escape and dependency. There is a truth most people are too afraid to admit. Sometimes intimacy isn't about passion, attraction, or even curiosity. Sometimes it's about escape, For some women, giving themselves to a man is less about what he offers physically and more about what he offers emotionally. A way out of pain, a refuge from loneliness, a distraction from the storms inside. This is secret number 6, emotional escape and dependency. Picture this. She's carrying invisible weights, stress from work, a relationship that drains her more than it fulfills her, responsibilities that never end, silent battles she never talks about. On the outside, she may look strong, composed, unshakable, but on the inside, she's screaming for relief. And sometimes the fastest way to silence that scream is not through therapy, not through self-reflection, but through the raw distraction of intimacy. In those moments, being with you becomes more than desire, it becomes medicine. The act itself gives her a temporary high like a drug. For a while, she forgets the pain, the stress fades, the doubts quiet. You are not just a man, you are her escape hatch. And here's the dark part. When intimacy becomes escape, it often grows into dependency. Because the relief is so immediate, so intoxicating, that she begins to crave it. You're no longer just a partner, you're her lifeline. Every time reality overwhelms her, she turns to you. Every time her emotions spiral, she reaches for you. You become less of a lover and more of an anchor she clings to in the storm. This is why women in this state can be so passionate, so overwhelming, so uncontrollable. They're not simply with you for pleasure, they're with you because they need you. And need, as we both know, can be far more powerful than want. But here's the dangerous truth. Dependency often disguises itself as devotion. She may tell you that you're the only one who understands her, that you're the only person who makes her feel alive, that she can't imagine life without you. And while those words may feel like the highest form of love, they may also be symptoms of something deeper. Her escape is no longer optional. It's survival. Men often mistake this intensity for soulmate-level connection. They think, she must truly love me. Why else would she hold on so tight? But in reality, she may not be holding on to you. She's holding on to what you represent. Safety, release, relief, a way out of her inner chaos. That's why emotional escape is one of the darkest reasons of all. Because in this scenario, you're not just a partner, you're a drug. And like any drug, the relationship can become addictive, destructive, and difficult to let go of. Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean her feelings aren't real. In fact, they may be some of the most raw, unfiltered feelings you'll ever experience. When she clings to you, when she gives herself to you fully, it's genuine in the moment. The relief is real. The passion is real. The need is real. But the foundation it's built on is fragile because it's built not on stability, but on escape. And here's where men often fall into the trap. You may believe her intensity means permanence, but dependency is unpredictable. When you're there, you're everything. But if you're gone, if you step back, if you stop giving her that escape, she may fall into the arms of the next person who offers it. Not because she doesn't care for you, but because the need for relief is stronger than loyalty. Think about it like this. If someone is drowning, they'll grab any hand that reaches out. It doesn't matter whose hand it is, as long as it pulls them above the surface. That's what emotional escape can feel like. She's not always choosing you. She's choosing survival. And yet, this is what makes secret number 6 so powerful. When a woman gives herself to you because you're her escape, the connection feels magnetic. She may look at you with eyes that seem to say, "You saved me." She may hold you with a grip that feels unbreakable. She may surrender to you with a vulnerability that feels sacred. And in a way, it is. Because for her, in that moment, you did save her. From her pain, her loneliness, her fears. But this is also why this secret is the most dangerous. Because no matter how much she loves the relief, escape is not the same as healing. And if you mistake the two, you may find yourself trapped in a cycle where passion and pain are tangled together, where love and need blur into something difficult to escape from yourself. So what's the lesson here? It's this. Women may have many reasons for choosing intimacy: loneliness, revenge, validation, curiosity. But the darkest, the deepest, the most consuming reason is escape. Because when desire turns into dependency, when pleasure turns into medicine, the connection goes beyond physical. It becomes survival. Gentlemen, these truths are not meant to make you cynical. They're meant to open your eyes, to help you see beyond the surface, to recognize the shadows behind her desire. Because when you understand these 6 dark reasons, you hold the power, not just to attract women, but to see them clearly. And if this opened your eyes, if it made you think differently about the hidden psychology of attraction, then I invite you to join me on this journey. Because here on Psychology of Desire, we go deeper than anyone else into the truths people are too afraid to speak. So before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the next video may just reveal the truth you've been waiting for.